If the polls are any indication, Trump is entering tonight's debate in the weakest position he's been in the entire campaign. Not only is he trailing Hillary Clinton in the national polls, but also in states that have been reliably Republican in years past. Our newly updated battleground map, for example, showing states like Utah and Arizona now toss-ups. The latest poll, in fact, from the Arizona Republic and others showing Hillary Clinton up now over Trump in Arizona by 5 points with only 20 days left until the election. Joining us now is Robert Graham. He's an advisor to the Trump campaign and the Arizona Republican Party chairman. Robert, thanks very much for joining us.
Good to be here. Thanks.
What's going on in Arizona?
Well, we're working hard. I mean, I think we look at the polls and we take all elections serious, but at this particular point, I think they're not consistent with what's really happening on the ground in Arizona.
Right. So these polls you don't think are reliable?
No, I don't. I mean, when we look at what's happening in Arizona, really three key points is you have Arizona has a massive Republican voter advantage. We have 175,000 more Republicans, registered active Republicans. We've got 21 field offices. We've got over 12,000 volunteers that are in that. We can't even deploy them fast enough, not to mention the millions of calls and doors that we're knocking on. So we've really mobilized a force, and that's when you engage the voters in that way, that's when it becomes a meaningful outcome for any candidate, and we're not seeing that on Hillary.
So what does it say that your senior senator, John McCain, who himself is up for re-election, he seems to be doing well in the polls. He has certainly not been out there campaigning for Donald Trump in Arizona.
Yeah, I think what happens is the calculus is different. I mean, you've got a senator that represents everybody in the state of Arizona as it relates to Republicans, Democrats, and independents, and he's well liked. He blew his competition.
Does that hurt Trump that he's not helping him in Arizona?
No, I think people. John McCain has always been John McCain, and John McCain's always taken his own personal positions. I think right now what you're seeing is, again, a momentum shift, really strong behind Trump in our state, even though the polls may suggest opposite. But McCain's doing his thing, and us as a Republican Party, my job description is solely to get all Republicans elected, including McCain and Donald Trump.
What do you expect from Trump tonight? It's really his last major chance to address tens of millions of Americans.
Yeah, I think he's going to lean into this one, I think, in a very aggressive way. One of the things you hear from Donald Trump when you work through his real message is jobs, opportunity, and safety for everybody. And when you're in a state like Arizona where we have a high Hispanic population, and in those populations we have very high unemployment, he's actually speaking right to them as a man that really knows how to deploy people and get resources and jobs for the hardworking taxpayers.
But is he going to go after Hillary Clinton's character? Is he going to go with what some of his critics are calling the gutter politics?
Yeah, you know what? I think that the thing about Hillary Clinton is we want her to be held accountable, and I think Trump wants her to be held accountable. You have a pattern over the last 30 years where you have this bad acting behavior and this dishonesty, and people say it. I mean, the number one question to describe, or word to describe Hillary Clinton has been dishonesty. And so when you see what she's been doing, and then now just more and more volume of emails, I think he has a responsibility to hold her accountable in this debate for her bad behavior.
So he'll come out swinging?
I think so. I think it's the only way to make sure that people really understand he's here to be a fighter for America.
Robert Graham, thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you, Wolf. I appreciate it.
The party chairman from Arizona, the Republican Party chairman. Coming up...